Recording this on an early Saturday morning, a day after the news dropped that Joel Embiid will be out indefinitely with an orbital fracture above his right eye. He suffered the injury in the very late stages of Game 6 against the Raptors when the Sixers were up 29 points. He took an elbow from Siakam, and much to the delight of the Toronto fans in the crowd. I mean, what else is new? They're, lame, and they like to root for injuries, especially when it's an athlete they hate. I'm all for sports hate, but Raptors fans are corny as hell with that shit. So is the Raptors broadcast, by the way. Jack Armstrong, most notably, talking about how the airplane celebration or whatever was Bush League, as if athletes aren't allowed to celebrate their accomplishments. Lame ass. Anyway, this injury sucks, man, because it was a freak accident. This was the healthiest Embiid has been in his career. Probably another great chance to go to the conference finals at the very least, because I thought, objectively speaking, I picked the Sixers in 6, and I'll give my other playoff predictions at the end of this video. But I thought the Sixers were going to beat the Heat in 6. I thought at least, that the Sixers were the more talented team. I'm not a believer in Miami's half-court offense. There's more targets for James Harden to attack on switches in this series compared to the Raptors. The Heat, while they are a better defense than the Raptors, they don't have the long athletes that the Raptors had, that the Sixers had to face last series. And Miami's, to be clear, a way better defense, but I still thought there were soft spots the Sixers could easily attack because their best players can exploit those soft spots to an exponential higher degree. So obviously that changes things. The Heat don't have to send doubles and triples teams to anybody, not named James Harden, unless James Harden, obviously goes off. But yeah, this injury sucks, man. Who knows if he'll be back for Game 3. That sounds like an optimistic, result. I know Ramona Shelburne reported that at the very least Embiid's going to be in 5 days of concussion protocol. Kyle Neubeck of Philly Voice actually was the first to report that it doesn't look like Embiid's going to need surgery for this orbital fracture. Embiid had a similar injury to his left eye when Markelle Fultz ran into his shoulder towards the end of the regular season in 2017-18. Ironically, Embiid came back in the playoffs against the Heat after missing 22 days after he had gotten surgery. So, I mean, we'll see. But it's always something, man. It's always some injury, always some dramatic twist in this Sixers team, and I get it. This is what I have to live with. I'm a Sixer fan, so I have to live with this. It doesn't mean that it sucks any less than it does. But I honestly don't know what to think of this series now, because I do think the Sixers still have some offensive firepower to prolong this series, and I think the Heat's offensive lulls, especially in the half court, is going to keep the Sixers in some of these games. But without Embiid, I just can't see how the Sixers can get to the conference finals. Now, the saving grace is Embiid doesn't have any lower extremity injuries. He just has to deal with a torn ligament in his thumb and now a broken face. And I knew that was when I saw that play and how Embiid was bleeding and how it looked like, just looking at the camera, it looked like some of the left side of his face where he got hit was kind of dented. And then post-game, when he was doing his post-game interview with Gus Johnson and Greg Anthony, who called the game on NBA TV, he said Pascal might have broken my face. And then Anthony and Johnson kind of laughed. And then Embiid was like, no, I'm serious. I think he might have broken my face. That's when I knew I was going to have to potentially worry about some crazy injury. And, well, here it is. So, sucks. Fuck any Raptors fan that's saying this is for karma, or nobody knew he couldn't have gotten a broken face or a broken orbital fracture. Who fucking cares? He got elbowed in the face. He was clearly bleeding. He was clearly being tended to by the trainers, and Raptors fans still cheered anyway. Nothing new. Stay classy, Toronto. But anyway, real quickly, I want to, while I transition from that, I'll try to go through my playoff predictions for the second round briefly. So I got, for Suns Mavericks, I have Suns in 7. I think that series is going to be tough for the Suns. I think Dallas is a whole completely different team since the new year, and especially after the Porzingis trade when they doubled down on just building and revolving everything around Luka. And Luka in a series is a different animal. I know the Suns have had some success defending Luka in the past, but a series is different. Also, if you just give Luka one of anything for too long, he's going to figure it out. I still got Suns in 7, but it's going to be a close series. Warriors Grizzlies, and I thought the Grizzlies Timberwolves was going to go 7, but the Timberwolves won that series 4 different times and somehow still lost. So we have the Grizzlies now, which is exciting because it's the rematch of the play-in last year. I got Warriors in 6. The Warriors are fully healthy. They have their full death lineup at their arsenal. And I know the Grizzlies have a lot of depth, but I do trust the Warriors more than the Grizzlies in this scenario, especially because the Grizzlies can go through some half-court lulls. Their lack of shooting, aside from Desmond Bane, has been concerning so far in these playoffs. I got Warriors in 6. It's going to be a close nip-tuck series, but I think the Warriors will close it out in Memphis in Game 6. And then we go to the East. As I said, I had Sixers in 6, but I really don't know now. I would honestly probably just lean towards Heat in 6 if Embiid doesn't play. If Embiid somehow returns, that's when it gets interesting. If the Sixers can steal one of these 2 games in Miami, I think they actually put themselves in a good position to try to win this series if Embiid does come back. But if the Heat take care of the first 2 games at home, I think this series is over in 6 with Miami winning, with Embiid not playing. And then the last series, we got Bucks and Celtics. This one is going to be fun. There's no Chris Middleton, so that's going to be tough for the Bucks. The Celtics are just playing at a whole different level right now. Their defense is on a whole another planet. Jason Tatum has stamped himself as a superstar. And without espousing on this series for 20 minutes, because that really is all these series are good, but Warriors, Grizzlies, Bucks, Celtics, Sixers, Heat, Suns, Mavericks, these are all good, but this one has a chance to be really special, and we might get to witness Giannis just dominant defense. But I still got Celtics in 6. Without Chris Middleton, it's going to be tough. And the Celtics are just the better team. And so those are my series playoff predictions. This is a very somber video, but I hope you enjoyed it nonetheless. Stay tuned for more videos and reaction to these playoffs as it keeps happening. These injuries have fucking sucked all playoffs, but I guess we roll. So see you next time.